And I remember one particular summer when Katya was asked by the YFC Ukraine staff to be part of a mime, a skit, a Redeemer skit that would show God's love as creating actually through mime, and it would create Katya, and then Katya would fall away into sin, and then Katya would come back to the love of Christ during this pantomime. And I remember when she did this on stage in front of all these other Ukrainian teenagers, they identified with Katya. They identified with her story. She had been in an orphanage in Ukraine. She had experienced the love of Christ through adoption, not only physical adoption, but spiritual adoption. And then she was sharing her testimony of how also if they gave their lives also to Jesus, just like she had. And she was Ukrainian. In fact, a lot of those kids, even in that camp, only lived about 15 miles away from the exact same orphanage that she had grown up in. And they identified with her, and many of them gave their lives to Christ that day. And I remember my wife, she was one of the English camp counselors, and she was talking to her kids that came forward afterwards and says, "Why did you come forward?" And they said, "We identified with Katya in that skit. And we also want to give our lives to Jesus like Katya has done." And so that's my story about a YFC kid. It happens to be my own daughter. And we're so grateful and thankful that she is a testimony, an example to others like her in Ukraine.